over his head and a target over his heart. That is how death row inmate Brad Sigmund is set to be executed on Friday.
Aware of what the firing squad will do to him. He knows it's going to break his bones. He knows it's going to destroy his organs. But the alternative is potentially an excruciating 20-minute death.
Sigmund was convicted of first-degree murder for killing his two. Sigmund's lawyer, Bo King, says he believes the firing squad offers fewer unknown.
None of the information about the drugs that you would want to know before making the choice. It doesn't tell you what their expiration date is. It doesn't tell you their potency. It doesn't tell you Brad has asked for repeatedly, and that's the information that the state refuses to provide.
According to South Carolina's Department of Corrections, the state's last 20 minutes. But the state says the condemned lawyers say a state autopsy revealed excruciating conditions, two of the inmates' lungs filling with liquids, and experience says it's followed its protocols precisely.
What we know from the firing squad is that a death by firing squad happens almost immediately. It doesn't mean it's not going to be painful. But lethal injection is absolutely painful, as we're now coming to realize.
Laws, like South Carolina's and common among death penalty states, hide issues with lethal injection.
One of the reasons Brad Sigmund says that he's choosing execution by firing squad is that he feels he does not have enough information from the state about their lethal injection protocol. How does that work?
I would not assume that the states know what they're doing. The states are using secrecy to hide what lethal injection is from A to Z. They can't get the drugs that they need to inject. They can't get the qualified medical personnel that they need. And all too often, they can't access the prisoner's vein. The closer we look, the more we know about these execution protocols, the more...
With a secrecy law in 2023.
Drug manufacturers would not furnish South Carolina with the lethal drugs because we had no shield law. So once they said that, the only alternative was the electric chair.
Attorney Dick Hart-Pootlian was the state senator who introduced the bill to legalize the firing squad in 2021.
They'd have this choice, which I thought was more humane, until we could get a shield law.
South Carolina is not the only state turning to alternative methods to kill. Later this month, Louisiana will gas a prisoner with nitrogen, a method first tested by Alabama last year. The firing squad is legal in 4 other states, with Arizona now considering the same. All as multiple civil rights groups continue to oppose the death penalty altogether. And on Friday, just 3 media witnesses are expected to be in the room.
Suddenly the curtain opened, and Mr. Gardner was already sitting in the chair, and he's got this white square on his chest, like a target.
The firing squad was last used in the United States 15 years ago in Utah to execute Ronnie Lee Gardner. Reporter Jennifer Dobner was there.
So we heard like boom, boom, not just one single report. And target on his chest kind of blew up, the fabric kind of blew up. And then it was really, really quiet after that. And the medical examiner came out about 2 minutes and pronounced him dead.
And that's the fate that awaits Brad Sigmund. Zinhle Essamuah.